Hi, and welcome to this first tutorial about testing timeNough prototype, dedicated to the time logger bot. Each bot developed for our new enterprise software will have a name, making it easy to identify it. And this one suggests that it is used to log something at some point, or that users require it to perform a log operation. timeNough's time logger is a bot or a program that can be reached by email or text message. It indicates that an email address and a phone number have been prepared as inputs to the bot. A text message or email sent to this address will give you a concrete way to interact with this bot. For that, you have two options. First, you need to be whitelisted, that is, make your email address known to timeNough systems, and then be authorized to interact with the bot using that email address. Second, use John Doeson or Laura Bowen email addresses. They are already whitelisted with the bot, which means that they can directly use the bot and communicate with him, no whitelisting required. To get whitelisted, go to timeNough.com with the browser of your choice. Then click on the prototype demo number 1. Now click on the first email in the list, the Google one, with a title about whitelisting. Enter your email address in the unique displayed field, and then, please validate the HCAPTCHA challenge field, before a last click on the Whitelist this address button. The whitelisting process is completed once you click the confirmation link in the email you receive. The last step is to access your timeNough preferences after you have been whitelisted. To do this, click on Setup Now Your MVP Preferences. After you click on your preferred network, you will have access to your preferences form. Those who do not have or do not want to sign in with these platforms can click on the Sign Up button on the right. Then please indicate an email address of your choice. A password that complies with the rules. And that's it. Next time you access the Preferences form, Please remember these credentials. Due to the URL containing your email address, it had to be protected with a dedicated authentication system and a valid session, independent of the whitelisting process. Here, for instance, is the email address of the previous whitelisting field. Ouch! The form is not valid. Some mandatory fields are not filled in correctly. Let's indicate a first name, a last name, your birth date, your gender, languages that you speak and understand, including Luxembourgish, Chinese, and Russian. Your current time zone. Specify even your hours display format. Then please tell us which language should be considered as the primary one, as it will directly affect the language of this form and the communication of each bot. In the list, select the phone number prefix. And fill out this last field with the other part of your phone number. When you're done with this first series of fields, click on one of these two blue buttons to save and update your preferences. Now a new white modal should appear, with a second set of settings fields. This time they're all optional. There's no obligation to complete them. And when this toggle is set to no, you will be able to submit the form by clicking the blue update button. Finally, after reloading the form, you may have noticed two links at the bottom. By clicking the first one, you will be taken to a form with 4 fields. The time logger reading speed. Each of these fields will provide additional data to the time logger. We have found the best online tool for performing a reading test for you and provided a link so that you can make these estimations yourself. At the end, the recommended website will let you know your average reading speed. There are many similar tests and simulators available on the internet, but this is one of the most accurate. Once the test complete, you can go back to form fields that will ask for your estimation of your reading speed at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, after 5 emails have been received, and after 100 emails have been received. On each field update, an average is calculated based on your values. If you're satisfied with your estimation, click on the green Submit button to save the data. The time logger bot will just utilize these values as an input when calculating the time you may have spent reading a witnessed email. This bot is designed to witness. When you return on John Doeson's mailbox, click on the blue Compose button. Type any email subject you want. In the recipient field, pick a contact from the list of John's colleagues. Such as Aaron Bennett, his boss. Then, put some content in the email body that you know will be long for the recipients and the CCs to read. The email CC field is accessible by clicking the rightmost buttons. Like the recipient 1, This field is programmed to show you all the possible contacts John could interact with here. And when your personal email address is whitelisted, everything you see now can be replicated from your mailbox interface. You can now select the timeLogger bot from the contacts list. In doing so, you are making the timeLogger bot witness to an email message you are going to send on behalf of John to Aaron. Finally, click on the Send button to be redirected to his inbox. In certain cases, CC persons are not required to respond, but simply to be made aware of the exchange, to witness it. This is exactly how the timeLogger bot was designed to be used. As a witness, who will never answer your emails, but just parse them, silently in the background. A program anticipating the time it would take to read the email content for the people indicated as recipients or CC, and measuring the typing time for the sender. In both cases, the bot will use the user's personal reading speed and typing speed estimations in its algorithm, as described earlier. The timeLogger will also delete every witnessed email after counting words, so no surveillance will be conducted. Content of emails will never be used for intelligence purposes, post-analysis, or even espionage. And until now, everything you've done has been manual. You've entered the recipient's email addresses yourself, one by one. Including the one of the timeLogger was a manual process. But when automation enters the game, things get more interesting. This timeLogger works in cases of automatic email forwarding, when your email provider gives you the option to automatically forward emails on receiving or sending them. Email providers typically offer this as a standard feature. As an example, let's look at Gmail if you have whitelisted a Gmail address. Click the gear icon to the right of the interrogation point. This will open the right side drawer, which has the link See All Settings. Click on it to open Gmail Preferences. On the tab bar, click on the 6th button called Forwarding and pop IMAP. You should now see a gray button. Add a forwarding address. Click on it and type the email address of the timeLogger bot. b@coreenough.com. Click on Proceed. OK. This simple native automation should be effective once the verification code has been validated, and you should see something like this instead. Please select the first option, Keep Mails Copy in the Inbox, on the second select menu. Otherwise, the timeLogger will not be a witness. That's it for Gmail. Now let's see how the same can be done in Microsoft Outlook. There is also a gear icon here, on the top right blue bar. And as you see, at the bottom of this right side drawer, there is a View All Outlook Settings link. Click on it. Locate the forwarding link in the new display modal, and click on it as well. The email address of the bot has already been entered in the field, so a verification code is not required here. But now you know where the automation starts for Outlook users. Check out this time how things work in Yahoo Mail. Still a gear icon on the right, here. And at the bottom, there is a More Settings link. Click on it. You should land on a page like this. If you scroll down to the forwarding section, you can see that, like in the Microsoft Outlook case, the email address of the timeLogger bot has already been verified. At least you know where to go to change this. Now that we have looked at 3 email providers, let's take a look at Apple Mail. You will see the following window once you click on Preferences and the 8th tab called Rules. You can play around with the description field and the conditions for each defined rule. The most crucial part is the last one, which deals with what to do once all the conditions have been met. The timeLogger bot email is present here for the forwarding. So, click on OK. Then on Apply. And that's it. Your automation for the timeLogger is in place. Thank you for watching the part 1/8 of our MVP testing. Please hit the subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more videos about timeNough. The next video in the suite is another tutorial. The second one, helping you to perform complete tests about the time clock in bot.